Owner who was found dead inside of his Tallahassee store. We're going to bring you those details and much more ahead on this Friday morning. It is May the 22nd. Thanks for joining us here on Sunrise. I'm Kelly Bartoli. Also coming up this morning, planning for a crisis. Law enforcement coming together to prepare for a worst case scenario. We'll show you how they're doing that in just a few minutes. But we begin this morning with breaking news. An overnight shooting has been reported at a Tallahassee bar. This happened at Cancun Sports Bar and Grill on West Tennessee Street. These are a few pictures sent in to us from the scene. No other details are being released at this time, and Tallahassee police are still there investigating. We have a crew at the scene, and we'll bring you the latest information as it becomes available. Also first this morning, authorities in Valdosta are preparing extra security for tomorrow's Lowndes High School graduation ceremony. Protesters are expected to turn out following the death of Kendrick Johnson more than 2 years ago. Johnson would have graduated from the high school this year. In January 2013, he was found dead in a rolled-up gym mat in the Lowndes High School gymnasium. Investigators say his death was an accident. His parents believe someone killed him. The sheriff's office says they will be on campus for the ceremony, monitoring the outer perimeter grassy areas and roads. There will also be a designated area for the protesters. The man shot at a Tallahassee apartment complex on Wednesday afternoon has now died. David Queen was shot in the parking lot of the Plantation at Pine Lakes apartment homes. Police say there was an argument at the mailboxes and shots were then fired. Queen was a native of the Miami area and relocated to Tallahassee to be closer to his daughter. The 29-year-old was very close with former FSU running back Devonta Freeman, who now plays for the Atlanta Falcons. As he learned about the shooting, Freeman took to social media to express his condolences, writing on Instagram, "I love you, R.I.P. Dave," and then "I love you, R.I.P. bro." The suspect was taken in for questioning, but at this point, no charges have been filed. Officers are still investigating and ask any witnesses to call them at 850-891-4200. Services have now been set for the former FAMU student found dead inside of his burned-out business. The funeral for Aaron Goodwin will be at the Zion Orthodox Church tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. The 24-year-old's body was found last week when police were responding to a fire at his shoe store, Exclusive Heat, on South Adams Street. His death has since been ruled a homicide, and the Leon County Sheriff's Office has set up a tip line. That number is 850-606-3600. Also first this morning, a Tallahassee man is behind bars on several charges, including impersonating a police officer. Jamie Ferguson was taken into custody yesterday after a months-long investigation. Officials say multiple women reported that Ferguson pretended to be a police officer to get them to give him money. According to authorities, he would respond to an online advertisement, and when he would show up, he claimed to work for the Tallahassee Police Department. Ferguson is charged with sexual battery, impersonating an officer, and armed robbery with a firearm. Meanwhile, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement recently released a report showing crime rates dropping in Florida in 2014, but that is not the case in Leon County. Last year brought increases in total crime with around 2,000 more cases than 2013. Murders went up by more than 21% and sex offenses up by nearly 20%. Statewide, burglary rates fell, but in Leon County saw an increase of nearly 7%. Robbery rates, however, did drop in the county by 22%. Leon, though, not alone with crimes on the rise. When it comes to the total number of crimes, Jefferson County had a 40% increase, and Wakulla counties went up nearly 9.5%. To see county-by-county breakdowns, just visit our website, WTXL.tv. We are nearing 5:05 on this Friday morning, and meteorologist Max Apparis giving us our first peek of our weekend weather and a long weekend in store. So we need some great weather this weekend to go along with it.
You know what we had this week, right, was all that humidity and that summery storm action later in the afternoon and evenings. A different weather pattern starting today and heading into the long weekend. Right now, it's a little more comfortable outside. numbers are a little deceiving because we're at 72 at Tallahassee, 66 in Thomasville. But look at the winds, north-northwest at 7 miles per hour, so definitely a touch less humidity out there, and those humidity values are going to be dropping throughout the course of the day, courtesy of a cold front that passed late last night. Here's what it looks like around the region. Look at 50s waiting in the wings along the I-65 corridor over in Montgomery, 58 in Macon as well. So we have the 50s just to the north of us, and granted, I don't have 50s in our forecast, but I do have low to mid 60s here heading into the next several days, which we'll talk more about in a few minutes. There's that cold front that passed on by, allowing for a few rumbles of thunder along the Franklin County coastline yesterday. Those will be passing on by as we head throughout the course of that'll keep pushing on through as we go throughout the next couple of hours. But either way, we're on the back side of the system, meaning that we're going to be talking about quieter weather and even some cooler conditions as well. Titan radar showing the quiet side of the system, and we're going to remain under the high pressure regime for the next couple of days here. So plenty of sunshine to go around will mean those temperatures will warm back up to around 90 for your high. But again, we're going to be talking about low humidity, so going to be more of a desert-like air mass rather than that summery tropical feel that we're used to later on in the season. We have that 7-day forecast coming up for you in about 5 to 7 minutes. We're going to talk a lot more about that holiday forecast and, of course, have your extended outlook all coming up in a few minutes. We want to get our first check on the roadways. Kelly's standing by with more information. Hopefully, we don't have any fog, so that means smooth sailing out there.
Things have been okay as we're anxious to get our Friday morning started, right? You see this one accident popping up a little bit outside of our area, looking at Georgia 15. One incident there at US 1, the highway number 1 there. But again, a little bit outside of our area, so maybe if you're traveling a little off to the east, you may run into some slower going spots. Most of us, though, staying clear, as Max was mentioning. No fog problems out there, so certainly it'll help our speeds. Thomasville seeing some slow going spots already as you are heading out the door. Highway 84, you can see backed up for quite a bit there in the yellow, and even on 319 starting to get a little stretch there in the red, so speeds dropping down quite a bit early this morning. We'll keep a close eye on that for you. In Valdosta, those things looking great, pretty much green all across the board. Speeds where they should be. I-75 moving along nicely. And as we move here to the capital city, we can see I-10 has a stretch that here and there where you might have a couple other cars out there with you, but really nothing major to slow us down and no local accidents being reported this morning. Well, during a dangerous situation or a time of crisis, emergency personnel say different departments need to work together as a team. Yesterday, community leaders took part in a workshop on what to do in one of those worst case scenarios. WTXL ABC 27's Alex Cordero reports.
Here at the Capital City Country Club, and in the room behind me, experts on public relations are discussing how crisis communications can be managed efficiently. A common theme discussed was remaining calm and cooperative in order to manage chaos during a crisis.
So a lot of companies already have PR staff, and sometimes they have marketing people, and generally those people aren't necessarily equipped or experienced in working a crisis, and a crisis is a whole different animal.
Both the Tallahassee Police and Fire Departments used real cases such as the Deputy Chris Smith shooting and the FSU shooting to show how multiple agencies handled communicating during a dangerous situation.
The reason that we picked, I think, the two cases that we talked about so much is because they involved everybody. They involved the Leon County Sheriff's Office, the Tallahassee Fire Department, and TPD. We all came together to work together to go to one end, which was to get the best information out we could to get to everybody.
Important for us to talk about the synergy that exists between the agencies. The fundamentals of crisis management and public information are the same.
Keeping calm and focusing on common goals help these agencies fight through chaos and communicate to the public in an effective manner. During the Chris Smith shooting, local agencies communicated on the same radio channel. That made the sheriff's office aware of the danger and helped get a deputy to the scene to defend fire rescue. The quickness of the response helped save the public from the danger as well. In Tallahassee, Alex Cordero, WTXL ABC 27, dedicated to you.
Now, FSU Student Affairs Vice President Mary Coburn and attorney Benjamin Crump also at that seminar yesterday discussing practices during crises such as the FSU shooting and the Trayvon Martin case. Still to come this morning as sunrise continues, several rounds of soaking rain knocking Texas out of an extreme drought for the first time in nearly 5 years, but also causing some big problems for homeowners. So closer look. Plus, Max has our weekend weather coming up. And Chris Pratt showing us that sometimes he's not the best teacher. We'll explain in your entertainment news. And remember, if you see news happening anytime, give us a call at 850-894-6397. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter, or just send us an email. It's abc27news@wtxl.tv. We'll be right back.
Kelly and Michael are at Disneyland's Diamond Celebration.
I don't want to miss any of the characters.
Me either.
Next live, superstar Mariah Carey.
Did you hear something?
Plus, we get your motor running at Disney's Cars Land. Next live from Disneyland.
Look, Mike's Krispies.
Your ears are delicious.
Today at 9 on ABC 27.
Miss T's Sets in historic downtown Havana, a gift shop and bridal registry, offering women's accessories, kitchen gadgets, cookware, and beautiful tea sets. Miss T Sets, 206 Northwest 1st Street, and online at missteasets.com.
If you're looking for a car that drives you and takes the wheel right from your very hands, this isn't that car. The first and only car with direct adaptive steering, the 328 horsepower Q50 from Infiniti. Lease the Infiniti Q50 for $309 a month. Visit your local Infiniti retailer.
When you get hurt in a car wreck, this is the last place I want you to be. I want you to be at home, getting better, while I fight to get you paid for your lost wages, your medical bills, and your pain and suffering. And if the insurance company won't cooperate, we'll meet them here in the courtroom. At the Pelham Law Firm, often we know how to get you all the money you deserve, and often more money than the insurance company will tell you about. Call me. You can stay home while I work to take care of everything else.
The Pelham Law Firm is the way to go. 383-6600.
Miss T's Sets in historic downtown Havana, a gift shop and bridal registry, offering women's accessories, kitchen gadgets, cookware, and beautiful tea sets. Miss T Sets, 206 Northwest 1st Street, and online at missteasets.com.
Well, several rounds of soaking rains ending an extreme drought for the first time in nearly 5 years in Texas, but that rain also coming with a problem. The Trinity River is overflowing. Its banks are threatening homes and leaving some people stranded in Liberty, Texas. That's just outside of Houston. The Trinity River is the highest it has been in more than 20 years. And with more rain in the forecast, the National Weather Service says the river could hit a major flood stage. So we're going from an extreme drought to a potentially major flood stage in just a couple of days, really.
And that's the other problem too. When the ground is that dry, it's not able to absorb the water that fast. It continues to run off and then make its way to area rivers.
One extreme to the other.
But actually, flooding situations statistically, when it comes, or economically speaking, are actually better than drought because of the agricultural measures and how it's so much more detrimental to actually have that drought long term versus just having some flooding, which, yes, in the next couple of days they'll still be affected by, but long-term computer models do indicate a drying trend over the next month or so for them. Meanwhile, over here, we had a little bit of that rain yesterday for folks right along the Forgotten Coastline. But as I mentioned yesterday, folks in South Georgia spared from most of that rainfall courtesy of this frontal system diving into the open waters and going to continue to move into Central and South Florida here. So we're on the backside of this cold front, meaning we're going to be tapping into some drier and cooler air. So there is good news in the forecast as we go into the next couple of days. We're talking about quieter weather here as we go towards your Memorial Day weekend and even into next week. Not looking like elevated rain chances really returning to that forecast anytime soon. Other area temperatures were in the 60s this morning after reaching the mid-90s yesterday. So cooler weather coming today, and that's all courtesy of us being on the backside of this cold front, again moving through late last night. Other area-wide temperatures, 40s in northern Mississippi, 50s in Atlanta at this hour, so cooler air just waiting to the north of us. And I do have low to mid 60s in our forecast, not 40s and 50s, but still much cooler than we've seen for most of the entire month of May. And again, we're creeping closer and closer to the end of the month here. Temps in the 70s and 60s this morning. We'll boil up a few clouds this afternoon, but the trend will be dry all day long. No one getting in on any of that rainfall. And though the temperature is warming up into the upper 80s and nearing that 90-degree mark, since the air is going to be a lot drier, it's It's going to be a lot more bearable out there. Yesterday we were talking about dew point values, or how heavy the air is, being on the very uncomfortable side. Bad hair days over the last several days, right? But here, as we go into the weekend, talking about the dew points dropping by about 20 degrees, a lot more crisp out there, and a lot more of a deserty feel versus that tropical air mass we've been stuck in for the last couple of weeks here. And we hold on to that trend heading into the long weekend. Though we were talking about temperatures in the 90s, they're a little cooler than the last several days. We've been consistently in the mid-90s, so we'll tack off about 5 degrees. And you can also see that we're dry and warm through Saturday, and then maybe just 1 or 2 isolated rain threats heading into your Sunday and Monday. But don't cancel those outdoor plans. Not going to be a lot of aerial coverage with that rainfall, and they're not going to be long-lasting storms either. So we're drying out today as that cold front drifts farther and farther away from us and high pressure digs into the deep south. And today, warm but not hot. That's a better way of describing it, considering we've been dealing with mid-90s for the last several days here. Here's what the rest of today looks like: a mix of sun and clouds. That's pretty much it. Nice and quiet, and we hold on to that quiet trend heading into your Saturday as well. So we'll start things off on the clear side today with temperatures in the low 70s and upper 60s. That breeze still coming out of the north, though, ushering in that cooler and drier air. We'll get to around 90 for your high today. Warm and dry once again. Folks in South Georgia, I don't think, get out of the 80s today. And then overnight, dipping down, even cooler than we're seeing this morning, down into the mid-60s, and the winds will slack off a little bit as well. Offshore waterways, well, will be sunny and relatively warm today. Your bay and inland waterways at a light chop. Right along the shoreline, a little on the warm side, still calling things right around 90 degrees, so not going to get any cooling relief along the shore, but the fact that it's a little drier is still taking the edge off a little bit out there. All right, your 7-day forecast, low 90s for the next several days. We'll muster up a few of those showers and storms heading into Memorial Day, but again, not going to be long lasting and not everyone getting wet. Holding on to that pattern, not just for the weekend, but also heading into next work week. However, it does get a little more humid. You know, we are in North Florida and South Georgia. We will get that humidity back in the picture. So the timing is quite right here for some dry conditions heading into the long weekend, Kelly.
I thought you were going to say there was no humidity and I was going to, like, applaud you. Or...
You'd applaud me still.
Nope.
I appreciate a nice applause. Nope. Oh, okay, fine.
Maybe next time. Max, thank you so much. Coming up, I hope not. I'm not going to be here. Coming up this morning, we have got your Jimmy Kimmel recap. Jimmy playing Dare Roulette, his ultimate dare challenge with some viewers. So what crazy things is he going to have them do? We're taking a closer look after the break. As we head to break here, taking a live look from Jordan. It is high noon there, 68 degrees. A couple people already getting their Friday started. We've got much more in store. The news at Sunrise continues in just 2 minutes.
Unmarried couple
The two of you were cohabiting and cavorting.
find they're not a good fit.
She kicked you out.
She told me to move out, and I didn't understand why.
He got angry and started throwing things. He went to go out the back door, and he bashed it down.
Now they look for sympathy.
Two people who live together without benefit of marriage and then come and annoy me. Let me tell you how I feel about that.
Next, Judge Judy. Tonight at 7:30 on ABC 27.
Being a nurse is about dedication. It's about compassion. It's about teamwork, helping one another, and pulling together. It's about hard work, strength, and determination. And at the end of the day, you'll know you were there to make a difference when it mattered most. Call Kaiser University today at 1-888-200-6295.
Shop the Sleep Gallery for the best prices on brand name bedding in stock and ready for immediate delivery. At the Sleep Gallery, you'll find Beauty Rest, Kingsdown, Latex Bliss, Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic bedding. Shop the Memorial Day sale. Sealy Queen sets $6.99. Save $300 on select Tempur-Pedics and get up to $300 on a Visa prepaid card. Save $300 on Stearns & Foster bedding. Save $600 on Sealy Optimums and Hybrids. 48 months interest-free financing available. The Sleep Gallery, Tallahassee's mattress experts.
Titan Doppler Radar is sponsored by Kraft Nissan.
Every morning the sun rises in our fair city. A while later, Chris, the late riser, wakens for a day of work. and involvement in FSU and community, serving Tallahassee as he has for years. Across town, Brother Peter, the early riser, has already turned on the lights, checked itineraries, and game planned with loyal employees who've been showing up every day for decades. And as the day rolls into business mode, the brothers orchestrate what has come to be recognized as Tallahassee's premier auto dealership, your car dealer, Kraft Nissan.
Talking some entertainment news, kicking things off with our Jimmy Kimmel recap. Jimmy likes to have fun with fans, and he uses that Wall of America, kind of the video chart, all the monitors. And now he's using that, but with a dare challenge on top of it. Oh, check out what happens.
In the wheel, and your dare is... Oh, clean. All right, well, this will be nice for the person for whom you're dog sitting. Clean your webcam with your tongue. Clean your webcam with your tongue. This is not bad. This may be the easiest of everything, all right? So go ahead, Oscar.
Okay.
Do it.
Here we go.
Oh, no. Too close for comfort. Did you notice how we said, too? This man was dog sitting at someone's home, so not even his own webcam.
Nope, just licking someone's camera there.
Someone's going to come home and be like, oh, yeah, I saw your webcam on Jimmy Kimmel, and your dog sitter licked it. And you're going to say, wait a minute, I have so many questions here.
You say your dog licked it.
Right, there you go.
Dog sitting. Did you see?
Why not?
But that's not even the one to the right of that was cutting a sleeve off your shirt.
What would you rather do?
If I'm wearing this suit, I'll lick any webcam any day.
I'd be like, let me go change really quick. Let me go find a different shirt that I don't like.
There
you go. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Jimmy.
Jimmy Kimmel. What if someone local gets on there?
I hope so.
I want to see. You can check for it, Jimmy Kimmel, every weeknight at 11:35, right here on WTXL. Other entertainment news this morning, Neville Longbottom.
Whoa.
There you go. That's how pumped up the tablet even is. He is not a first-year student at Hogwarts anymore. Actor Matthew Lewis made that clear when he posed for some steamy shots for Attitude magazine. Yeah. Then things got a little weird when J.K. Rowling saw the pictures. The Harry Potter author tweeted, I will always support you, whatever you want to do, Matthew. Now go put on some clothes. She also said it was almost as uncomfortable as seeing Daniel Radcliffe in Equus. That was the play where he's naked on stage.
Yeah, so. It's not, I mean, he had some clothes
Right,
on,
right, and it's just a picture. But I think she was saying a lot, she didn't realize that's what the pictures are going to be.
Oh, I
so
get
when you
it.
like click on the magazine cover, like, oh, he's just going to look like this, you know, oh, there you go. He's all buttoned up there.
He's grown up.
He's all grown up.
Well, from one hunk to another here. Drunk Chris Pratt, not really the best teacher.
Okay.
Hollywood's It Man had a little too much whiskey when he shot this video giving some acting tips. Now, some of the advice was bad, others not so much. Check it out.
Work out a lot and use sunscreen and roll the dice, man.
I mean, sunscreen, that's very important.
Pale complexion, you need that
You
sunscreen.
need sunscreen. I saw him on a talk show a little bit ago. He said he used to live in Hawaii, so he probably learned the hard way that you should wear sunscreen every day. He probably got a little burned there, so.
I bet
Why not?
Chris Hemsworth and other, Hollywood hunks agree, probably.
Hey,
right?
If this is what it's going to take to get kids to wear sunscreen every day, who
Chris
knows?
Pratt
Maybe he's
coming to you on your webcam.
Chris Pratt licking a webcam, maybe.
Maybe.
In theaters this weekend, a new Disney sci-fi flick plus a classic thriller getting a reboot. George Clooney goes out of this world in Tomorrowland. He plays an inventor who befriends a teenager. They go on a perilous journey to find a place that only exists in their collective memories. Tomorrowland rated PG. And, remember that movie that scared you as a kid? It's here. In Poltergeist, a family moves into a suburban home that's haunted. This one's rated PG-13. They are both playing at AMC Tallahassee Mall and regional at the Governor Square. So you have some choices for where you want to go see these.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that second one.
No, that looks kind of scary.
The commercials have scared me. Have you gotten the pop-up ads?
Yeah,
with the scary clown?
Yeah, it's not great.
I don't like it.
With Tomorrowland, do you think they're going to have the big Epcot golf ball?
I think they should. I think they really should.
Just in the background.
At Epcot, they were showing like special sneak peeks of it down at Epcot.
That
so
makes sense. Fun.
There you go. Well, now you can see the whole thing.
I guess so.
That is a quick check of your Hollywood headlines. We have much more in store. Coming up, a warning from Florida health officials after 2 young children diagnosed with whooping cough, how to protect yourself and your kids. Plus, poet Robert Frost wrote about it. His choice between fire and ice may have been wrong. What researchers say is the deadlier weather, the heat or the cold.
thought everything would go back to how it used to be. But that wasn't realistic for him or our family. Make the Connection helped me realize that we are not alone. Other families are dealing with similar challenges and working toward the right solutions together. Visit maketheconnection.net to see stories like ours and learn how your family can start the journey toward recovery today.
Eye Associates of Tallahassee is proud to introduce a major technological advancement in cataract removal, the Centurion Vision System. The Centurion technology allows your surgeon at Eye Associates to remove the cataract in a safer, more stable fashion. This potentially decreases the risks and improves the outcome of your cataract surgery. Eye Associates of Tallahassee is investing in your eye health. Eye Associates of Tallahassee, all you need to see.
Social Security is sometimes the only thing that stands between having a roof over your head, food on the table, and being homeless. At Morgan & Morgan, we have a Social Security section devoted to helping you. Whether you're applying for benefits or been denied, I invite you to visit forthepeople.com and learn more. When you visit, you can learn what benefits you're entitled to and what injuries and mental illnesses qualify for both Social Security and VA benefits. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
At Napleton Infiniti of Tallahassee, drive luxury for less. Drive your new Infiniti Q40 from only $279 a month. If that's not for you, drive the new QX60 SUV from only $399 a month. Or drive your brand new Q70 for only $429 a month. And at Napleton Infiniti, we have rates as low as 0.9%. Or how about no payments until July? We also have early lease turn-in options. Where you shop matters. Shop Napleton Infiniti of Tallahassee.
The Florida Department of Health reminding parents of the dangers of whooping cough. This after 2 cases were reported in Suwannee County, both in unvaccinated children, an infant and a 4-year-old. This highly contagious infection starts out as a mild upper respiratory infection with the first symptoms similar to a cold. The cough, however, can last 6 weeks or more. Officials say while the disease is preventable, all children need to be vaccinated against whooping cough by the time they are 2, with an additional dose before starting kindergarten and then 7th grade. They also recommend adults and pregnant women get vaccinated. Cases have been increasing since the 1980s as the number of infants and children who have never been immunized increases. If you think the summer heat is worse than the winter weather, researchers say, think again. A new study found cold weather is almost 20 times as deadly as hot weather. Researchers looked at 74 million deaths from 1985 until 2012. They found 7.3% could be attributed to cold weather and 0.4% attributed to hot weather. That is a quick check of your health headlines. Much more in store here as the news at Sunrise continues. A grand jury returning an indictment for all 6 officers charged in the custody death of Freddie Gray. Plus, the Obama administration giving in to Governor Rick Scott's request for more hospital funding. But will it be enough to end the standoff in the state legislature over the budget? We've got the latest coming up after a quick break.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course.
Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
My name is Amanda, and I smoked while I was pregnant. My baby was born 2 months early and weighed only 3 pounds. This is the view I had of her in the NICU. My tip to you is speak into the opening so your baby can hear you better.
Find 3 ways to quit at tobaccofreeflorida.com. Call, click, or come in.
It's all about early, and I wanna be there.
Good morning. Thank you for waking up with us here on WTXL Sunrise. It is Friday, May the 22nd, 2015. I'm Kelly Bartoli in Midway. Your high today, 88 degrees. It is 5:30 this morning, and coming up this half an hour, we are continuing our summer camp sampler with Sunrise Rocks. We've got Music Lessons Express joining us in the studio in just a few minutes. First, though, we have new details about an early morning shooting at a Tallahassee bar. Police say a man has been hospitalized in serious condition. Now, according to authorities, a patron at Cancun's Sports Bar and Grill on West Tennessee Street was being disruptive and was asked to leave. The customer initially refused, but workers were eventually able to get him outside of the restaurant. That's when the man and an employee got into an altercation, and police say the employee then shot him. Officials say charges are pending. They are now asking anyone who may have witnessed what happened to call police. Other news happening in the world right now. A grand jury has indicted 6 Baltimore police officers charged in the death of Freddie Gray. Gray died from a spinal injury while in custody of the officers. His death sparked days of protesting and riots in Baltimore. Baltimore City State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby announcing those indictments Thursday. The officers are scheduled to be arraigned on July 2nd. Their attorneys have called for Mosby to be taken off the case due to conflicts of interest. The man wanted for killing a family and their housekeeper last week in D.C. has now been captured. 34-year-old Darren Dylan Wint was caught late last night. Authorities say Wint killed a family and their housekeeper, then set the family home on fire. Officials were able to find Wint's DNA on the crust of a Domino's pizza that had been delivered to that home as the victims were being held captive. A law enforcement source says they believe that Wint got away with $40,000. Looking at your news from up and down Florida this morning, the Obama administration is making an offer to Florida, all in efforts to resolve a $1 billion stalemate in the state budget. Yesterday, the administration agreed to extend federal hospital funds for 2 years, but only at half the amount the state got last year. Now, that could mean Florida lawmakers have to pull funding from other programs, or state hospitals will get less money in the coming year. Currently, hospital funds are $2.1 billion, put up by equal amounts from the state and federal government. The offer, though, dropping that to $1 billion combined for the next year and then $600 million the following year. Tallahassee Community College has been named one of 2015's Promising Places to Work. That's from the National Institute for Staff and Organizational Development and a Higher Education magazine. Nationwide, only 16 colleges receiving that honor. The award follows a study that focused on factors like workplace diversity, staffing practices, and supportive work environments.
The number one goal is to recruit talented students and offer open environments for education to everyone, and then student success, If you have 100 people come in the door, you want 100 people to go out the door reaching their goals. That's success.
TCC is also being featured in the Higher Education magazine and will be recognized at a conference later on this month. Turning now to your news from across Georgia, labor officials say the state's April unemployment rate remained unchanged from the month before. That rate still sitting at 6.3%. It is down, though, from this time last year when it was 7.3%. The state labor commissioner says the April figure continues a 54-month trend in which the state's rate has either declined or stayed the same. Much more in store on this Friday morning as Sunrise continues. Coming up next, we have another look at our local weather and traffic reports. Plus, Milwaukee Brewers fans, they look to tailgate before games, which means the creator of Griller Park is the envy of the rest of the Brewers fan base. We're taking a closer look coming up in your Sunrise Sports. And in case you missed anything, this week on Sunrise, we are taking a look back at some of the top stories and best moments with our Sunrise Rewind.
Unmarried couple
The two of you were cohabiting and cavorting.
find they're not a good fit.
She kicked you out.
She told me to move out, and I didn't understand why.
He got angry and started throwing things. He went to go out the back door and he bashed it down.
Now they look for sympathy.
Two people who live together without benefit of marriage and then come and annoy me. Let me tell you how I feel about that.
Next, Judge Judy.
Tonight at 7:30 on ABC 27.
Take a vacation this summer from your car payment at Kia Autosport. Right now, you can get 0% for 66 months, and Kia will make your first 3 car payments on any new 15 Forte, Optima, or Sedona. Only at Kia Autosport, where we want to see ya in a Kia.
Anything, anywhere, anytime, anyone. Spread the delicious taste you know and love. Hershey's is mine. Yours, our chocolate spreads.
So I get my money today?
Absolutely. It'll just take a few minutes.
Excellent. I was thinking about going to a pawn shop, but whenever I think of pawning something, so, just love you. I don't.
And you shouldn't, because with our simple loans, you get to keep what's important to you.
Like golf clubs,
Our family heirlooms,
power tools,
pets.
my wife.
Exactly.
She's the one that told me to come here.
Good call.
Learn more at advanceamerica.net.
At Tire Kingdom Express and Speedy Oil Change, get Memorial Day savings the entire month of May. Buy 3 tires, get 1 free instantly when you get them installed. Goodyear, Continental, Cooper, Nitto, and more. Tire Kingdom Express and Speedy Oil Change.
At Kia Autosport, right now, you can get 0% financing for up to 66 months and own a new 2015 Kia Forte for just $16,202. Plus, Kia will make your first 3 car payments only at Kia Autosport, where we want to see ya in a Kia.
Well, for this upcoming Memorial Day weekend, AAA once again offering its Tow to Go program. You can call AAA Friday through Tuesday until 6 a.m. Whether or not you're a member, they will take you and your vehicle home or somewhere safe within 10 miles. The program is available to people living in both Florida and Georgia. Since 1998, Tow to Go has safely removed more than 24,000 impaired drivers from the roads. 5:37 on this Friday morning, and Max Sapera is standing by in the Weather Center for our another check outside. And Max, we got a long weekend coming up. Of course, a lot of people going to be out at the barbecues.
Yep.
We're going to have that heat and sun to go with it, so certainly get the water up there too.
The heat and the sunshine, but maybe not the humidity. A kind of different pattern coming heading into the long weekend. So there's some good news to be getting used to heading into the next several days. Meanwhile, right now, still looking like a very similar pattern where we have been the last couple of starts here. Low 70s and upper to mid 60s. But notice what's going on if we check out Thomasville. Winds out of the north at 8 miles per hour, ushering in that cooler air. So yeah, your morning hours are a little more pleasant now as we start off your Friday and even heading into the weekend too. 50s waiting in that forecast just to the north there, so we have some nice stuff coming in our forecast too. But again, I don't think we have 50s in our forecast, but still cooler numbers waiting in the wings here as we go into the next couple of days. Here's what it looks like outside. We had a cold front diving through the region late last night. That caused for a few afternoon and evening showers ahead of that system along the Forgotten coastline. Those have since fizzled away. We're going to call things a mix of sun and clouds today, but quiet conditions as well. So no one getting in on that rainfall. That's why Titan radar making clean sweeps of the sky this morning. Here's what the rest of today looks like. Getting the kids to the bus stop, 70 degrees, maybe the mid 60s if you're in South Georgia, but we're going to be clear and dry, so nice conditions outside. Then we'll start to boil up a few of those clouds heading into the early afternoon. And we will top things off on the warm side, a few degrees above average. But you got to remember, the last several days, they've been very steamy. We've gotten all the way into the mid-90s, so shaving off about 5 degrees is going to make a difference for sure. And the fact that we get rid of a lot of that humidity also going to make things very nice on this Friday. Here's what we're talking about in your full Storm Team weather report coming up in about 20 to 30 minutes. We have that drier and slightly cooler air mass coming back into the forecast, so there is some changes heading into the long weekend. And then we will bubble up a few more of those storms heading into next week. We'll time out those storm chances and give you that Memorial Day weekend forecast coming up here in a little bit. Time right now, 5:39. We want to get a live look at the roadways. Kelly's standing by with more information. It's been a quiet start, and again, earlier this week we had that dense fog, so I think we'll take the easy start, right?
Yeah, we certainly deserve it, especially to start our Friday, to start our long weekend. You can see here around Tallahassee, speeds looking great. Even US 90 doesn't have the delays that we typically see as you head out the door early this morning. Things looking really nice out there. Drive times slower than average, just 9 minutes there. The rest of us staying pretty clear. You see that one accident sticking with us a little bit to the east, right near the corner of your screen. Most of us not really being affected by this accident. It popped up about 30, maybe 40 minutes ago. Most of us, though, staying in the clear. We haven't had any local accidents reported. This one's here on Georgia 15 right there at US Highway 1. So if you're traveling a little bit out to the east, you may have some of those slower going speeds because of it. In Thomasville, a little stretch there of the red, speeds dropping a tad bit, but the rest of it is in the green. So it looks just like a small stretch where you might have a couple other cars with you this morning. And in Valdosta, no problems there. I-75 moving along very nicely. And again, as Max was mentioning, not talking about any visibility issues out there. So it looks like it is an okay commute to start your Friday morning. We have much more in store here as Sunrise continues. Stay with us. We're back in just a few minutes.
Kelly and Michael are at Disneyland's Diamond Celebration.
I don't want to miss any of the characters.
Me either. Next live, superstar Mariah Carey.
Did you hear something?
Plus, we get your motor running at Disney's Cars Land. Next live from Disneyland.
Look, Mike's Krispies.
Your ears are delicious.
Today at 9 on ABC 27.
At Stanley Steamer, we go beyond carpet cleaning. We're also experts at cleaning tile and ground. Our high-pressure equipment extracts dirt powerfully, yet safely, with far better results than mopping. We can even seal or recolor your ground for a fresh look. Call now about our tile cleaning special.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Are you ready for some adventure? You can go from here to here. Visit any Super Loop this month for an oil change and get registered to win tickets to Wild Adventures. And we're giving away hundreds. Hey look, school's almost out and Super Loop wants to help you with your summertime vacation plans. So go to any of the Tallahassee area Super Loop locations and get your car checked out for summertime. Then register to win tickets to get wild at Wild Adventures in Valdosta. Every 3 months or 3,000 miles. Don't forget, this summer, Super Loop it.
Titan Doppler Radar is sponsored by Kraft Nissan.
Every morning, the sun rises in our fair city. A while later, Chris, the late riser, wakens for a day of work and involvement in FSU and community, serving Tallahassee as he has for years. Across town, Brother Peter, the early riser, has already turned on the lights, checked itineraries, and game planned with loyal employees who've been showing up every day for decades. And as the day rolls into business mode, the brothers orchestrate what has come to be recognized as Tallahassee's premier auto dealership, your car dealer, Kraft Nissan.
America's Money, higher gas prices for the holiday weekend.
Yep, the average price of a gallon of gas nationwide is now $2.74. That's the lowest Memorial Day price we've seen in years, but prices are up 5 cents in the past week.
Be prepared to pay a little more for barbecue items this holiday weekend. Ground beef up 14% from last year. Hot dogs are up 8%, and lettuce is up 8% as well.
So this is what you need to go with. You need to go with beer, soda, watermelon, and potato salad, because all of those items actually cost less
Glad
this
you're
year.
keeping a tally there.
Of course I am. Memorial Day weekend is usually a slow weekend for the movies, though. So the new film, Tomorrowland, got a good shot here, being #1. It's a film from our folks at Disney. That's our parent company.
Holdover, Pitch Perfect 2, and Mad Max Fury Road will slump a little over the 4-day weekend.
Beer, cheaper. That's all you need to know about America's Money.
That's America's Money. Have a great day.
Talking some sports news now, the FSU softball team looking for a win at this year's regional tournament, but the guys down UNC to remain undefeated in their ACC tourney.
Well, Ron Snyder has that and more in your Sunrise Sports.
The FSU softball team lost to Tennessee earlier in the season, but that was a neutral site game in February. So Coach Lonnie Alameda says they're a different team now. They have better chemistry, and young freshman players like Morgan Claveman, she's grown up. Now they're ready to make a postseason run. FSU in the Super Regionals taking on Tennessee. This is game 1 of a 3-game series. Top of the second, Victoria Daddis at the plate. Rips it down the left field line. Fair ball. That allows a run to score, so it's 1-0 Knowles. That's how you start things off in the Super Regionals. Next inning, Jessica Warren at the plate. She's come through all season. Goes deep there to take a 2-0 lead for FSU. But in the 7th inning, the Knowles striking back, the Vols striking back to tie it up at 2. And Megan Gregg finishes it off with a runner on, finds a hole, and Lexi Overstreet scores. Tennessee with some last-at-bat magic to beat the Knowles 3-2. Meanwhile, the FSU baseball team in game number 2 of Pool A of the ACC tournament. Florida State knocks off North Carolina 8-4. Mike Compton, 5 2/3 innings, only allows 2 earned runs, so the Knowles can go 3-0 once they take on Louisville Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Well, the school year is winding down and spring football is wrapping up, but you have to cap it off and show your progress. So Rickards, Wakulla, and Godby all got together at Gene Cox Stadium for a spring football game. 2 quarters of football to warm up for the fall, and DJ Phillips, he's plenty warmed up, takes it in for the 2-yard touchdown, and Rickards strikes first on Wakulla. They take a 13-8 lead, but Wakulla with the answer. Philip Franks up top, take it to him. Keith Gavin coming down with it. 16-8 Wakulla. But with the game winding down, Rickard strikes back. Delvin Williams, get out of his way. Rams it through. 20-16 Rickards. Wakulla with an answer, though, or trying to at least. They throw it deep, but Javon Wooten, defense, coming through with the pick. He plays basketball, so you know he can jump. And Rickards finishes off the game with a 20-16 win.
Man, they're all veterans, man. They're all coming back, and so they should always have a good night. The biggest thing is, man, defensively trying to play good football.
Well, that's it for Morning Sports. Have a great day.
And your sports schedule coming up tomorrow. FSU baseball taking on Louisville at 11 a.m. That game at Dick Hauser Stadium. We've got some NBA playoff action on this Friday morning. Stephen Curry, you know, the one with the cute daughter that looks just like him. I guess he plays basketball too, right? He led his team to a 1-point win over Houston, talking 99-98. Curry putting up 33 points. James Harden, though, for the Rockets with a huge game, pouring in 38 points. In the final seconds of the game, though, Harden loses the ball after a double team by Curry and Klay Thompson as time expired. Game 3 tomorrow. So
they're
there
already
you
up
go.
in the series by 2. We'll see what can happen there. Speaking of Stephen Curry, along with LeBron King James, they're unanimous choices for the NBA All-Star team. Go figure, right? The first and second teams consist of 2 Cavs and 8 players from the Western Conference. James and Curry are joined on the first team by Anthony Davis of New Orleans, Marc Gasol of Memphis, and Houston's James Harden. So we're seeing Harden on there too. The second team has Chicago's Pau Gasol, Oklahoma's City, Russell Westbrook, and Chris Paul of the Clippers. So a lot of big names there, all going to be going to the All-Star.
All the famous names going to the All-Star game. Moving here to some tailgating. This is what sports fans really love, right? It doesn't matter what you're cheering for. You want to tailgate. Well, if you are a Brewers fan up in Milwaukee, maybe a little bit better. This is Griller Park. A fan took the time to take an ordinary grill and turn it into a replica of Miller Park.
That's ridiculous.
Like the stadium, the grill, of course, has a retractable roof, even features a baseball diamond-shaped rack there.
It's pretty eccentric.
Why not? He can start selling these for all of them.
There's a lot of stuff happening at the Brewers. You know, they had that new dog.
They're doing some crazy stuff up there.
I feel like we've talked a lot about them. But, I mean, when you get crazy-looking things like this, why not?
Too much cheese.
In
Milwaukee, the cheese is going to their head or something. We have had a great week here on WTXL Sunrise. Hard to believe it's Friday, but I think we'll take it. If you missed anything, taking a look back now with our Sunrise Rewind. Tallahassee Regional Airport getting some much-needed renovations. We have some designs that officials are hoping to bring to the airport. You're seeing them now. It's a project that could cost up to $12 million.
A new vision is being crafted for Tallahassee's South Side. Chris Edwards with the City of Tallahassee says it's time they take action to improve the area and address the concerns of the community.
What happens is our actual SWAT team members will be leading the camp. It's a 5-day program, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. It'll be out here at the Pat Thomas Law Enforcement Academy. The Florida Public Safety Institute is the other name that people refer to it.
It's official. Everett Golston is transferred to Florida State. The Noel sent out a release just after 6 yesterday evening that says he signed the paperwork to join with the school. The former Notre Dame quarterback just graduated.
Scientists aren't positive why she stays along the eastern seaboard, but they think it probably has something to do with her food source.
And maybe because Mary Lee is a New Yorker.
Mary Lee's a New
Yorker. She's got to call her mother. She's got to call her sister. Have a cup of coffee.
Take a nice bite.
She just needs some, you know. She just needs a slice.
A nice chomp.
You got to slice.
Because we do provide shirts, which I have here. That I want to give to you.
Thank you.
Different
Look at how
official Summer
important
Science
this
Camp
is.
T-shirt.
So make sure you get registered.
Look at how great this is. I think you're going to be seeing a lot of these around town because this is something that's going to be so special. 3 years in a row now. A panel of representatives from the Urban Land Institute going to be in Tallahassee this week with suggestions on how to improve the city's south side. Wide-ranging all across the board.
5.
So Max drew here either Halle Berry, Janelle Monáe, Jennifer Hudson, or Rihanna.
It's not great. It's not great.
Well, Halle Berry used to have that hairstyle for a while.
Should I draw the squigglies around? Like how?
Yes, you got to draw. Rihanna.
Rihanna?
Rihanna. Was I right?
Rihanna!
It's Rihanna!
Oh, how exciting. So suspenseful there.
It's the little things that really bring us joy.
Now the big question.
I guess the drawing, right?
Should I start spiking my hair up like that?
I
Just
really think
all
you
up?
should. I think you should.
Get the
Put some
frosted
colors in there.
tips?
Yeah, I think so. You could join a boy band then.
Yikes.
Then you could be our Sunrise Rocks.
Oh, that'd be
no,
fun.
well, let's wait off on that. We got a lot more in store. We do have Sunrise Rocks coming up next. We are getting a live performance from Music Lessons Express students. Don't go away. We're back in just 2 minutes.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
For the last 11 years, our brave men and women have been at war in the Middle East. Many have come back with life-altering injuries, both physical and mental. At Morgan & Morgan, we have a section devoted to serving our veterans and helping them with their VA claims. The process is complicated and many are denied. If you've been denied VA benefits, visit forthepeople.com for answers to your questions. Morgan & Morgan, serving our veterans.
Do you dream of owning a brand new home and earn at least $600 a week? Well, now you can. At Payonia, we make home ownership a reality for less. Get your brand new 3-bed, 2-bath home and garage for only $699 a month with 0 money down. That's right. If you earn at least $600 a week, you can own a beautiful new home at Payonia for no money down and just $699 a month. Call 877-888-7601. 877-888-7601.
Discover Brookside and discover an exciting combination of tastes. Rich dark chocolate covering soft centers, flavored with exotic fruit juices. It's chocolate and fruit flavors like you've never experienced before. Discover Brookside.
It's Friday, so you know that means another edition of Sunrise Rocks. It's also the final day of our summer camp sampler, so we're going to combine the two and learn a little bit this morning about Music Lessons Express. Here with all the information, Brett Wellman, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good friend of Sunrise Rocks. We always enjoy
Love it.
having you here. So summertime is a great time for kids to maybe learn an instrument for the first time, get a little bit extra practice. What can Music Lessons Express do?
Well, we've got what we call a summer sampler camp for kids, and it's 1 week long. We have it in age groups, 5 and 6 year olds, 7 and 9 year olds, and 10 to 12 year olds. And it's an all-day camp. We do it at our studio on Appalachia Parkway. And every day, there's only 6 kids per camp. So it's really, really small group. So there's a lot of one-on-one attention. Every day they get lessons in piano, guitar, violin, mandolin, ukulele, double bass, cello. If we have an instrument, we put it in their hands. We don't just show it to them and say, this is a really cool instrument. We put it in their hands and teach them how to do it. Throughout the week they learn about composers, which includes geography and history, and they actually write their own song. And on Friday, they do a performance on whatever instrument they want to do of the original composition they made. It's really an awesome thing. This will be our 3rd summer doing it.
So how much experience do the kids need to come in with? Do they need to know anything about the instruments, or are you going to teach them literally from the beginning?
Nothing. They don't have to know anything. If they know something, that's great. Absolutely. But if they don't have any experience, that's perfect. That's why it's a sampler camp. They get to sample all these different instruments. And it's funny, by Friday, they can tell you the 4 different music groups, you know, the percussion and the woodwinds and the brass and the strings. They can tell you about curved bridge and flat bridge. They can tell you about strings and just so many different things. It's really, really impressive. So Natasha Marsali is our instructor, and she's fantastic with it.
And how important is it, you know, you can think, oh, I want to play the clarinet. I have no idea. And then maybe I'll pick up the guitar. I'm actually more inclined to that. How important is it that they're able to really get to touch and feel those instruments all at the same time, and kind of maybe are nudged towards one that they didn't realize before?
Oh, it's great for them because they get to learn certain things. Like, some people are more inclined towards strings. Me personally, I'm a string guy. I understand string instruments. I don't play piano. I don't really understand it, never learned it, you know, but some people understand piano, like Lexi. She's great at piano, right? So, and it's great because it's a sampling of all these different instruments. We have different musicians throughout the community from the symphony and such come in, and they show off different instruments. We have Ken Hutchison comes in and does an African drum circle with the kids, so they get to play djembe. It's really a lot of fun. And the only thing that the kids have to do every day is just bring a brown bag lunch. And that's it.
Pretty simple, right? It's just like they're going to school. Lexi, you are 10 years old. How long have you been playing the piano?
Maybe about 8 months.
8 months already? And you got a couple songs already, though. Was it easy for you to start learning?
Kind of.
And then you feel a little bit better now. You can practice more. You can not as scared maybe when you come up to it. This is such a great camp, such a great opportunity, especially for kids when they are young. That's usually when our best learning happens, let's be honest.
Absolutely.
Music Lessons Express Music Sampler Camp. You get all those lessons on all those instruments and more on your screen. You see the dates and times as well. Cost $185, a website and a phone number on your screen. We're getting a performance now from 10-year-old Lexi Wellman performing Forest Drums. Take it away.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Unmarried couple
The two of you were cohabiting and cavorting.
find they're not a good fit.
She kicked you out.
She told me to move out, and I didn't understand why.
He got angry and started throwing things. He went to go out the back door, and he bashed it down.
Now they look for sympathy.
Two people who live together without benefit of marriage and then come and annoy me. Let me tell you how I feel about that.
Next, Judge Judy.
Tonight at 7:30 on ABC 27.
Right now on Sunrise, the Tallahassee man hospitalized after a Wednesday shooting has died from his injuries. We've got the latest on this investigation. Plus, funeral arrangements have now been set for the local business owner who was found dead inside of his Tallahassee store. And as students in Lowndes County prepare to get their diplomas, local law enforcement gearing up for more security. We'll explain as WTXL Sunrise starts right now.
Wake up, you gotta shine with the sun.